the Joshua, who fought, baby? We saw the fight Joshua versus Usyk, which nobody saw in the U.S. Yeah, because what's that promoter that doesn't know how to, has no clue what to do in the U.S.? I think his name is Hearn or something.
Oh, Thomas Hearn?
Yeah, Thomas Hearn. Thomas Hearn, stay in the UK, promote your fights. You have no clue what you're doing in the US. The Zone's doing the right thing by sticking with Golden Boy. So I'm looking forward to doing, I'm doing Jaime Munguia versus Rosado. So I'm doing Rosado versus Jaime Munguia. And then I'm working on Ryan Garcia versus Jojo Diaz in LA.
Wow. Those are the words of Oscar De La Hoya as he tells Thomas, which is Eddie Hearn, to stay in the UK because he has no way or doesn't know how to manage in the US. Now, me counterpunching Oscar De La Hoya, for one, I'm glad he's over the COVID and he's called out Floyd Mayweather and all that, and Mayweather has responded. Good for him. But for him to criticize promotion and doing the right type of thing promotional-wise, it's pathetic. Like, you can see bitterness through and through, okay? He didn't mention Canelo. And how are you not going to know what promoter left you, or what promoter has your fighter now that you beef with over, and he beefed for what, a few months with Canelo, over social media? How are you not going to know his name? You know what I mean? Like, what's his name? What's his name? And I'm like, okay, for one, you're telling Eddie Hearn he should have stayed in the U.S. or should have stayed in the UK. For what reason? Because it seems like he came and disrupted your whole world. Canelo left you, and now Canelo's working with Eddie Hearn, that you call Thomas like you can't remember his name. And for another thing, you had to fall out with Canelo in the first place. So you can't blame Eddie Hearn for that. And then here calling him he doesn't know how to manage or work on cards in the USA. Well, where's the proof? Give us examples. See, I hear people, if they say something derogatory or whatnot, or they'll say or make a statement like, oh, he doesn't know how to do this, or he doesn't know how to do that. Okay, where's your example? Now, if he had something credible, like Bob Arum will cap, but Bob Arum will say why he feels that way, at least, sometimes at least. Instead of just saying something, oh, well, Eddie Hearn doesn't know how to promote cards, fight cards in America. So, that's what I think. Okay, well, you didn't back it up by anything, so where is this coming from? Well, it's coming from Canelo. And we've seen this before from Oscar De La Hoya. Because as you can remember, when Al Heyman came to Fox and PBC, and most of his fighters, damn near all of them, left, and with Richard Schaefer, and went to Fox PBC. Him and Bob Arum was trying to, in fact, draw up a lawsuit. They filed a lawsuit against Al Heyman because of the free TV and this, that, and the other, and they tried to grandfather and keep it in-house on premium television. Well, the whole idea was to see it free on television in the first place, so more people can watch the sport of boxing, to open people's perception on how it was in the yesteryear when we did watch Sugar Ray and Hagler and all these guys that ran on regular television. Okay, see, that was the vision, and he, to the most part, achieved that vision. And again, it was bitterness through and through, on top of an attempted lawsuit. With Eddie Hearn, he doesn't have anything that he can file against him, but that doesn't stop him from talking about Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's one of his top fighters, Anthony Joshua, just got defeated You know, for him just saying you should stay in the UK, I think that's rather territorial prejudice because, like, what have you done? What are you doing with your fighters? Who is your best fighter? You lost your biggest client, you know, and the fights that you're trying to make, Ryan Garcia versus Diaz, like those guys should be fighting Haney. Now, if he would have said something like that, I'm like, okay, you're on the money because at least you're doing something with the fighter that you have that's supposed to be the best or whatever, the Kings, which is turning into a joke down there because none of those guys are fighting each other, right? None of those guys. So at the end of the day, you're like, okay, well, Jaime Munguia and Rosado, okay, well, that's a decent fight. I like Rosado, but Jaime Munguia, where the hell has he been? He should have been on the milk carton by now. You know what I mean? And like, how good of a promoter are you with Jaime Munguia? You know, so like I see all cap, I see bitterness, and it's sad. You act like you don't know the man's name after you've worked several cards with Eddie Hearn. When you had Canelo, you know, you had the Rocky Fielding, he had the Danny Jacobs, he had, I think, another fight too with Eddie Hearn. He's done quite a few with Eddie Hearn, but now he doesn't remember his name. You know, and then that's, I think, is reflected towards Anthony Joshua's loss because he did mention Usyk and Joshua. So you knew Joshua without Eddie Hearn? What is that? That's like Amos and who? Adam? No, it's Amos and Andy, right? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Oscar De La Hoya telling Eddie Hearn that he needs to stay in America. I mean, in the UK. There I go. And promote fights in the UK at his hometown. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.